Shogun is everything Game of Thrones should have been. When I saw that, I immediately got upset. I won't even lie to you, man. I was immediately like, man, what you say? And that's mostly because, well, let's start here. Shogun is a fantastic show, and if you haven't been watching it, you need to. So don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to say Shogun is not can't track with Game of Thrones or anything like that, like maybe in the future. But it's Shogun's first season. Comparing it to Game of Thrones at this point is just, can we wait a little bit, please? But it's the Shogun is everything Game of Thrones should have been, and I'm like, should have been. Game of Thrones is only one of the most cult classic TV shows of our generation. Literally of our lifetime, it might be the best TV show of our lifetime. I mean, the only two shows, we talked about this on Top 5 Live, the only show that I put in league with Game of Thrones, like writing-wise and like epic moments and storytelling and stuff like that, there's a lot of great shows, don't get this twisted, but when it comes to like the cult following and like the insane level of fandom behind TV shows that are really well written and just very gripping, Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, Walking Dead. And Walking Dead, we know that kind of trailed off for a little bit before Rick and Michonne came back with The Ones Who Live. So I was gonna make the video immediately, like on some get back, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't you disrespect Game of Thrones like that. Like, I was gonna make that initially, but then I went to go read the article, and after reading the article, I still somewhat disagree, although I see the point of what they're saying in the article. For those who haven't read the article, you should go read it. It's on IGN right now. The link is in the comments to what she has to say. So you should definitely go read the article. But I will give you the highlights pretty much of the what was said in the article. So one of the basic things that was pointed at is the way that women in Shogun have agency. That regardless of like where they're at in it, they are also major players and major roles, and they aren't coming from like a humiliating place. And again, I'm being concise with that. You can read the article for more context. One of the reasons that I somewhat disagree with that is because you have courtesans in Shogun, which, the culture might lead to some of the reason that they're not directly demeaned and done some of the ways that it's shown in Game of Thrones, because again, you're being culture for culture, and I think that's part of that. But I know one of the stories that she brought up is how we met Daenerys versus how they ended, her and Cersei. But I think a lot of the characters end up like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that's specific to women in the show. I think that's I think that's a not a trope of the character, but that is who the character is. It's the way you saw it. The reason that people fell in love with Jon Snow is because Jon Snow was treated like a bastard from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? A love bastard, but yet still a bastard. The reason why people love Tyrion is because Tyrion was, he was a drunk, and he did things, and he slept with whores and all kinds of other stuff, but at the same time, you could see his intelligence, and then over time, you see that character grow, and that makes you root for that character. And I think the same thing is going on in Shogun, because I definitely have my favorite characters for Shogun, and so I'll probably do another video that goes deeper into things, but it just caught me off guard. If y'all haven't read the article, y'all should go read it, and if you're not watching Shogun, you definitely need to go watch Shogun, and then tell me what you think.